Gauri Devashree.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone present here. The Dr. Manu.V.L.Kothari Chair and Division of Medical Humanities and the Gosumec Alumni Association under the patronage of Sangeeta Rawat and Dean Sagius Medical College and KM Hospital. Welcome you to this session of reminiscence. I request the tech team to play the video about the Division of Medical Humanities.
Gosumec okay. तुझ्या मोबाईल मध्ये ते नंबर्स असतील ना.
Sagius Medical College and KM Hospital will be celebrating its centenary soon. As we prepare for the centenary celebration, we have a message from our Dean, Dr. Sangeeta Rawat Madam, in form of PowerPoint presentation. I request the tech team to please play the PPT. It is the students of past and present that make our college what it is. So, as our twin institutes move towards their centenary, we wanted to give a virtual platform to every batch of GSMC to share their fondest memories of college. Their thoughts and emotion will be preserved forever in the form of this reminiscence. I request the tech team to display the GAA membership form. To remain connected to our alma mater and informed about the activities in KEM, including its centenary celebration, we request you to become members of Gosumec Alumni Association, the official alumni body at SAGSMC. All the details on how to become a member and this membership form are available on KM website. All those who are not members are as yet are requested to please visit the KM website. Today, we will interview a very senior alumnus, Dr. M.R. Chaudhary, from very special 1947 batch. Sir will tell us about how it was to be in the batch of 1947, his time in GS, and his medical career.
Divya,
Sir,
Gauri, Devashri, Dr. Anshan.
Uh, Hello, sir. So your mic.
Hello, Devashri ma'am. Actually, you are logging in the same room, na? That's why it's echo. So please uh, turn off one of the systems and mute.
Dr. Ishani, to both of you can't be in the same room, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's why the voice is echoing. So maybe you can just switch off one.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Okay, now do I shoot? What is the question?
Uh, Sir, first question. How come you got admission in GS? You were a citizen of CPN Virar.
Wonderful. That's a big history. Before independence, CP and Berar had no medical college. There were only licentiate schools. So my father planned my career so that I can get into the medical college in Bombay, the Grand Medical College. So he sent me for matriculation and inter-science to Mumbai. And I got my inter-science marks and was admitted to Grant Medical College. My marks plus my sports mark, plus they used to give 5 marks for the children of S. Grant Medicos. So I got into Grant Medical. But in 2 years in Wilson College, my friend, very dear friend, was a very bright boy. He got into GS because he was a Bombayite. And GS was a corporation college. So I thought that why should I not be with my friend and go to GS? Now, how to get into GS after having got into Grant Medical College admission paper in my hand? As I had an audacity and courage to go to the dean of GS Medical College. He was my father's colleague, 1925 to 1930, Grant Medical College, Dr. Dhaigude. And I told him, so he says, congratulations, you are joining our college. I said, no, I want to join your college now. You are the dean. He says, no way. No way. Because you don't belong to Bombay, and this is Bombay Presidency, right from Karachi to Dharwad. 60 students were from Bombay Corporation area and 20 from Karachi to Dharwad. Most of them were B group, first class, biology, first class. As we are talking, the clerk of the GS Medical College in those days, Mr. Khotlekar, a short person with big moustache, he comes to the office and, excuse me, sir, what do we do with the CP and Berar seats? They are not informed whether they are going to send the batch of 5 or not. The dean looked at me and he says, you are a very lucky person. There are 5 seats reserved for CP and Berar and you come from Akola. Go and get your seat from CP and Berar to GS Medical College. And I did go and appeared for their interview and was selected and one of the 5 person to get into GS. All my friends were surprised that with such low marks, as much as 50%, how are you in GS? I said, that is what I am. I am with you, sir. And never looked back. GS Medical College. Interesting
Yes.
history.
Yes, sir. And now Devashri will ask the next question. Devashri?
So all of us know that 1947 was the independence year. So within the batch, what was so special about your 1947 batch?
Siddhi, I say 47 batch is India's independence. So the first medicos of this independent country. 20th June, we enter as the British citizen. And 15th August, we are Indian national. Secondly, that was the last batch of the agreement between CP and Berar government, Congress government, and Bombay Corporation, again ruled by Congress, to send 5 students. So that was the last batch of 5 coming from CP and Berar into GS Medical College. Third, within no time, we had the students from Pakistan, Karachi and Lahore Medical College joining in their respective years. Somebody joined in first year, second year, third year. So that was a wonderful batch of the local Bombay, 60, 20 from Dharwad to Karachi, 5 from CP and Berar, and then another 20 came from Pakistan area. And then we had the condensed course, LCPS students, joining us every 6 months for their examination to become MBBS. So that was the wonderful batch, conglomeration of 3 different setup.
Yes, sir. How was the celebration of Indian Independence Day?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. There was no TV. We didn't have our own small radios. But, PM Mehta was in the anatomy department. He used to teach anatomy in a very peculiar way, with various synonyms and how to remember all that. He had donated our hostel a big radiogram. So around that radiogram, around 11 o'clock onwards, all of us gathered together, the hostelites, and listened to the famous speech of our Prime Minister, India's tryst with destiny. And there was so much jallosh, and whole night we were trying to dance and whatnot. There was so much enthusiasm, but then we remembered that 8 o'clock is the flag hoisting on the terrace of GS Medical College. And who was the chief guest? Mr. S.K. Patil, popularly known as Sadoba Patil. 3 terms, 9 years, Mayor of Bombay. He was the chief guest and he spoke really well. He said, you should be proud to be the first batch of Indian doctors. And now that you have a responsibility to build up the healthcare of an independent India. And we're really enthused with what he said about it. There were no other speeches to bore us. It was just enthusiasm. Then there was a big celebration lunch in our mess. Double dish, 2 sweet dishes. And then at 5 o'clock, we had put up in a short time some skit and songs and everything, both for the patients as well as students in the outpatient department of KEM. So there was a small skit. I took part in that Marathi skit. And then came the big event. 9 o'clock, somebody hired a truck. And we 60, 70 students got onto that truck. The whole city was illuminated and the atmosphere of joy, shouting, Bharat Mata Jai, Bharat Mata Jai, and went right up to the gateway of India. I thought that I will take a picture of gateway and Taj Mahal Hotel. So I had a dingy camera. I got down and the policeman took away our lorry. So I missed the lorry. Then what do I do in that crowd? Walk 2 o'clock in the morning from Gateway to Parel, but all intoxicated with India's independence. That was the event of 47.
Okay, sir. Now moving on to the next question. How was the general atmosphere in GS at the time of 1947?
Wonderful, wonderful. Those were the days where all simple boys enthused into the medical education. There were no alcohol available. It was the days of prohibition. So in that entire campus of 5 years, hardly 1 or 2 people were known to be indulging in alcohol, especially coming from the Koliwada area where the patients had come to the hospital and they had the access to drinks. There were no smokers. So no alcohol, no smokers, and we are all into sports activity which was available in GS Medical College. There was no stress of any exams of NEET, the next examination. We are all sincere about what we were taught, the dissection, the part examinations, then the ward duties, first surgical, second surgical. Wonderful. 8 persons in a batch, 2 seniors and 6 juniors. So we, even as a junior, I was asked to operate on hydrocele in the first term in surgical itself by the registrar and houseman. So that was the atmosphere of real studious atmosphere, real sports, right in the campus, volleyball, table tennis, tennis court, and we also built a badminton court later on where the canteen came. None of us went into the hotels nearby like Shanti Vijaya for any snacks or anything. Just 2 square meals in our own mess.
Yes, sir. You were a tennis champion first, 2 years runner-up, and then champion for 3 consecutive years. Any special event you would like to share about your
Yes,
sports?
yes. In GS Medical College, the Bombay students had no access to tennis courts. But we in CP and Berar in Akola, there was a wonderful tennis court. And right from my school days, I used to play tennis. So I was champion, runners-up first 2 years. One government of Singapore, Chinese, Bobby Low, he was with us. So he became champion first 2 years. And later on, I became champion 3 consecutive years. I represented the college. And we were playing at CCI one match. And they saw me playing and asked me, you belong to GS Medical College? I said, yes. Do you have a court in Bombay? I said, yes, we have our own tennis court. So he said, Jimmy Mehta, famous tennis player, he says, can I bring the governor of Maharashtra, Sir Raja Maharaj Singh, the first governor of independent India in Bombay? And he used to have tennis court in Raj Bhavan. So he says, can I bring him to play tennis? So I said, of course. Then I told the dean, he says, what have you done? The governor of Maharashtra is coming. So in a very hurry, he got all the departments to work up, and we had a wonderful tennis court prepared for us. Raja Maharaj Singh played with us, and myself and one of more CP and Berar, Chakravarti and VR Mehta, we played doubles and against Maharaja and this. So that was a big event that I could get the Maharaja. He was the brother of Amrut Kaur, first India's health minister. They came from princely state. So that was a big event. तो हमारी इज्जत एकदम बढ़ गई जीएस में कि he could bring the governor of Maharashtra.
Sir, during your course, there was also 1950 Silver Jubilee of our institution. So, if you could share some memories of the event with us.
Of course, we're so inspired. 25 years, 1950. They had committees. And luckily, I was chosen in the committee of entertainment. And who was the chairman of the entertainment committee? The great surgeon and legend, Dr. A.V. Baliga. And what did he get us for the entertainment? Entire Raj Kapoor, RK Studios, enacting the scene of Barsat, acting with Raj Kapoor, Nargis, Nimmi, and Lata Mangeshkar herself singing, and the entire orchestra. So that was the huge event for our entertainment in our own premises, around tennis court and all that. There was a big stage setup and all that. But more than that, the biggest event was for the public, history of medicine. On the 60 floats, the entire history, right from Charak, Sushruta, right up to invention of penicillin by Alexander Fleming. So students were selected according to the face, and then we were given proper makeup and all that. And on the truck, we were there in the streets of Bombay for 6 hours. I was made Domeshak, the inventor of sulfa. So I had a big bottle showing sulfa, and I used to move around that. So somebody said, don't move, Domeshak. Why are you shaking? Just show them that you are the inventor of sulfa. So that was the biggest event of Silver Jubilee celebration.
So interesting to hear that. Next question. Would you like to share any of pranks that happened
Yes,
near
yes,
your
that was a big
house?
issue because it was something unheard of. We had the college picnic. Those who registered with certain amount, very minimum, to Lonavala, Dr. B.N. Purantare's bungalow. So we boarded the train at Dadar. Along with us was Van Shipley, very famous guitarist in those days. So we were around him in that compartment, and somebody at Kalyan or Thane brought us a mithai box. So we were very happy. So we started eating that mithai. Within 2 hours, we realized that there was something wrong. We were laughing and joking and whatnot. And by the time we reached Lonavala, most of us were absolutely out and down. And some of us developed GI tract problems and all that. And later on, we got fever and whatnot. I was admitted for 2 days. But nothing would have happened. But there was one student called Sudha Modi. Her mother was a big shot in Bombay, Congress leader, corporator, Sulochana Bai Modi. So she took up the issue, and the dean investigated and traced that particular prank who played on us to Mr. R.L. Shah. This R.L. Shah later on became FRC surgeon, and he was honorary into Topiwala National Medical College, but he was rusticated for 6 months. So he became a casual batch. But that was just the part and fun of it. But of course, nothing very bad happened to us. But that was one of the pranks played on us.
Sir, in acting in a drama and playing a role, that is an experience in itself. So drama staging must also have been fun. Can you tell us something about it?
Yes, yes, yes. GS Medical College, Marathi, Vangmay Mandal, Gujarati Mandal. very famous drama. But in that particular year, 1954, after we had passed and become RMO and registrar and all that, suddenly I thought that why we should not stage a postgraduate drama from RMOs and from some honoraries. So Dr. B.N. Purandare was very fond of singing. So when he heard this, he said, I will arrange everything. So he got the entire team of famous Moga Rangnekar team, Natya Niketan. And we had a small skit. And there was song in that which Dr. B.N. Purandare himself sang. So Dr. B.N. Purandare, Dr. Ambardekar, the anesthetist. Then amongst the RMOs was Dr. C.V. Mendale, who became plastic surgeon later on. And Gangu Patwardhan later on became Mrs. Joglekar, gynecologist, and myself. So that was the first time we started having postgraduate Marathi dramas. So that was a very eventful period in our life, you see.
Yes, sir. Next question. Did any celebrities or medical legends visit KEM? Can you tell us something about their visit?
Yeah, you were talking about the exchange WHO, no? The legions coming to GS Medical College. Isn't it?
Yes,
What?
yes, sir.
Yeah. You see, there was some agreement between the government of India and especially our GS Medical College, some celebrity legends from abroad. The first one was Sir Cecil Wakely. You open any textbook and he was one of the editors of those. He was also president of Royal College of Surgeons. So he had come to GS Medical College and KM Hospital and operated upon cancer breast as well as thyroid. Very fast surgeon. And when I was the senior registrar to Baliga, I assisted him for those operations. And as a secretary of the RMO's mess, I hosted lunch for him. So Sir Cecil Wakely, then there was Husfield from Sweden, cardiac surgeon. He also operated. And then there was one Italian surgeon called Valdoni, a real general surgeon, right from thoracic to abdominal to whatnot. So we had these three people, but the biggest event was a medical quiz organized for the first time for the medicos of Grand Medical and GS Medical in the quadrangles of St. Xavier's College, where there were case presentation by the team, and these dignitaries' legions, they had to diagnose what was it. So I do not know whether you still have that kind of program, but it was a very thrilling thing to see how people rationalize on the data that they were told. So that was the biggest event in those days. Sometimes some Russian surgeons also came, courtesy Dr. Baliga.
So moving on, now, like now, we used to have for the post-grad selection system, we are having NEET PG, and probably RBAT will be having next. So during your time, what was the post-grad selection?
We did not have any NEET examination for PG, thank goodness. Our own marks at the final MBBS, 7 subjects together, 1100 marks, and you had just to go and register with a registered teacher for your branch. So I registered for MS with Dr. G.M.V.L.Kothari. Each teacher was given 2 or 3 seats per year, new one. Later on, whether you do any work as RMO or residency or not, you were allowed to appear at the end of 3 years for MS examination. So there was part 1 MS and part 2 MS. That is how the post-graduation was there. General surgery, there was only one MS general surgeon. Gradually, the other branches came in. The first one to come up was orthopedics, then gradually ENT came up and all that, you see. So that is how the PG was there. I know number of people who were just PG all their time, 3 years. They used to be with the unit, and if some house surgeon goes on leave, they would work for him for 10 days or so and be in that unit and assist. And we used to have only 150 rupees as a house surgeon and 225 rupees as registrar. And we managed to have luxurious lunches and dinners at RMO's quarters.
Sir? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Next question. Sir, can you please tell us about your memories of surgery units in your time?
At that time, we had 6 surgical units. One unit was Dr. Pandya and Vohra. Second was Dr. Munsif and VP Mehta. So I did my house surgeonship in that unit. The third unit was Dr. G.M. Phadke and Vasant Seth. The fourth unit was Dr. Baliga and Dr. Adia. I did registrarship in that unit. The fifth was Arthur Dissa and Charlie Pinto. And the sixth was Dr. Karmarkar and P.K. Sen. So these were the 6 units. And I was lucky, the last batch of registrar to be registered to 2 units. So can you imagine 2 emergency days OPD, 4 operating days, 2 in the main operation theater and 2 in the junior jail. So that way we had the wonderful experience all along as a registrar.
Um, so next question is, why did you choose UK for your fellowship?
Wonderful. After having passed MS first shot with distinction, in those days there were no fellowships that you could go to Coimbatore or you go to Delhi for somebody for specialty or something. I was waiting for being assistant honorary. One assistant honorary was not keeping good health. He had some issues, but he was not declared unfit. So that post was not available. So I thought that why not go for FRCS? So I went for FRCS and within 14 months cleared my primary and both from London and Edinburgh. So that was the time when people used to go for FRCS and MRCPs. If the post was available, I would have directly got that post. So I was in UK for more than 2 years. I worked in some hospitals later on.
Sir, any missed opportunity that you would like to share?
Oh, yes. Life changes. Kudrat, Naseeb. The day I passed my final FRCS London, I visited Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit. She was the High Commissioner to UK from India. In that register, I saw the name P.K. Sen and Rosemary Sen. So I got his address and went to see him. And he said, Chaudhary, what are you doing here? How did you come to know that I am here? I said, elementary, my dear Watson. Think where you had gone today. He said, you could not have gone to the place where I had gone, where I registered my address. I said, that's what you think. I also visited Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit. He was so happy. We spent evening dinner with him. I had earlier played tennis with him. So he told me that you are a lucky guy. You are double FRCS MS from GS Medical College. I am coming from America. And my boss in America, Professor, he's there in London. So why don't you meet him? I will talk to him that you are my favorite student and he would have you in America to work with him, Professor Ravdin. So I said, I just told my parents on a trunk call. After 2 hours, the call came through that I passed my FRCS. And here is P.K. Sen offering me to come to US and be his part of the team when he goes back to India. Research and cardiac. So I said, nothing lost. Let us go and meet Ravdin. So in Strand Hotel, I have breakfast with Professor Ravdin. You know, in London, as a student, you don't come to know all these places and can't enter those hotels. So that was the biggest thing. Ravdin simply said, when PK says you are his student and good, get your visa, come to US. But then later on, I had second thoughts and I said, no way. I came back after some work in areas like ENT, which I had not done. Because in KEM, I only did general surgery 6 months and orthopedic 6 months. So that is how I missed an opportunity in life. PK Sen, every time he met me, he said, Chaudhary, you missed a good opportunity. Like tennis would have been a great team. I said, sir, destiny wanted me to be something different.
Sir, you have been a unique witness to the 25-year celebration, 50-year celebration, and the 75-year celebration, and now you will be witnessing the 100-year celebration, the centenary year in January 25. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, that is the grace of blessings of God. As a student, 1950 Silver Jubilee active in one of the committees, and then from Akola going back for our Golden Jubilee, and then Platinum Jubilee in the campus itself. Of course, as a just spectator, not actually participating in it. And hopefully now, January 25, we start the centenary year. In some way, this is one of the part that I am able to talk to our Gosumecs who can watch it later on. The days of 47 to 54, 8 years in KEM, 55.
Yes. The next question is any memories about the visit to Alma Mater?
Yeah, after this two events like the Golden Jubilee and the Platinum Jubilee, I also visited our college for the interview for the assistant honorary. But the memories are very bad because I was not selected. And the person who saw to it that I am not selected was my own guru, Dr. Baliga. Being a communist, he said that why do you want to be 101st surgeon in Bombay? Go to the remote areas where you come from and establish surgery in that area. So that was the first visit to Alma Mater, 1958 itself. Then the Massicon conferences, then the Golden Jubilee and the Platinum Jubilee. But the most important event was 2010. I was selected as a recipient of Hivrai Award in memory of our great teacher Sharadini Dahanukar. Can you imagine sitting in the MLT as the celebrity receiving Hivrai Award, people talking about my achievements and all that, and I am responding to that and sitting and talking to people that I was just like you sitting on those benches there. Probably on one of the benches, you might see my name carved, unless they have polished the whole thing again. So that was the event I was in GS Medical College to receive a big award from our college.
So you moved from the portals of UK Royal College to being a district surgeon at Akola. Why?
I know. Many people said कि चौधरी तू क्या करता है अकोले में? You should be in Bombay. But as I said, if I don't get into JS, I cannot settle it for anything else. Dr. Baliga, when he saw that I was angry with him, he said, do you want to go into Grand Medical College? Dr. Nemisha has gone to Grand Medical College. Tempton has gone into Grand Medical College. I said, no way, sir. Khaintar tupashi, naitar upashi. If I am in Bombay, I will be only in KEM. So coming to Akola at a district place, of course, it was a great challenge. I was a path setter, trend setter, pioneer of surgery in that backward area of CP and Berar, district of Akola. Gradually, I got patients from 9 to 10 districts of Marathwada, Khandesh, and MP. I had no infrastructure except goodwill of my father, who was one of the senior most doctors, an MBBS, a unique person who had all the departments, pathology, radiology, electrocardiography, and a residential hospital of 50 beds medical, even before I joined him. So I had all that. And now today, after so many years, there are 100 surgeons in Akola. They have got all the infrastructures. They are only waiting for the patients. That is destiny. So in a district place, I realized that I have got to be jack of all and yet master too. So I used to call whenever I went abroad, who are you? I said, I am a general practitioner in surgery, practicing all the 9 subspecialties today, which are acknowledged as a specialist surgeon, right from neurosurgeon, head injuries, right up to gynecology, right up to orthopedics and ENT and plastic. So that is how the change came about. But like a Gosumec, I got help from all my colleagues. Whatever I did not know, I used to come to our Gosumec specialist, and I used to go for neurosurgery to Bhagwati, SN Bhagwati, Bombay Hospital. Goes to Sharad Bapat, urologist, Sion Hospital. Vinod Mehta, thoracic surgeon, and plastic surgeon Mendel and Goleria. They unstintedly, without any hesitation, taught me, knowing that agar ye aadmi padhta hai apne se, to he will not send patients. So that kind of attitude was there. The bondage of GS man trying to teach a district plan to carry out those operations there. I even established the first burns unit in India, private unit. And the inauguration was done by Vijay Merchant, who was the president of the Burns Association of India, which was established then. So this is typical. Our motto, non CB omnibus. So like honoraries, I also gave my honorary services to 3 public institutions besides my own 50-bedded hospital, Chaudhary Hospital. I worked in the government district hospital as honorary, established surgical department in Ayurved College, which was a mixed integrated course. And the third was municipal hospital, which I founded. Courtesy my father, his patient donated to the municipality, and I was founder superintendent surgeon. So cumulatively, I worked in these public institutions for 20 years and operated 10,000 operations in those institutions besides my own hospital.
Sir, this is so inspiring that you did something like out of the way, like continuous learning
Yes.
for many
Even in
years.
Akola, I kept my academic approach. I kept proper records and presented papers in Massicon and All India Surgeons Conference, ASI. But more than that, I happened to get large number of hydatid spread out all over the body, right from brain up to bones, liver, spleen. And I had a huge series of 300 patients documented. And in those days, we used to have the slides. When I visited US, attended some of the American Congress surgeons. So I gave grand rounds at Mayo Hospital, Cleveland Clinic, Stanford University, and Johns Hopkins. A district surgeon asked to give talk on his subject of hereditary disease. That is how I kept up my academics also.
This is so inspiring for us medical students that are pursuing now, taking education now. Thank you, sir.
Being in a district place, one of the advantages for me was I lived in a non-toxic environment. A district place, barely population of 80,000 then, and now it is 10-12 lakhs. Clean air, no traffic and driving problems. Distances were very close by. Within 2 minutes, you are from home to hospital to institutions to your tennis court. No restaurants and bars, no bad habits, no membership of prestigious clubs, but all the sports facility available. No swimming pool, but a 3-kilometer stretch of clean water river where I swam that and also had my boat where I used to row that boat even on moonlit days. Purnima Club, Poonam Nirat. Then I built up 2 twin court badminton court in my club. And we also had lot of parks where I developed laughter clubs. I call it Hasya Yoga. So real healthy atmosphere. Professionally, no unhealthy competition. Any junior came, welcome. If you want, use my hospital, use my anesthetists, keep surgery safe for your patients. Patients had trust and respect for the doctors, and we had cooperation amongst the colleagues, and we used to have good relations with juniors, and that is how even the children's education and take care of the children was very easy.
So next question is about, would you like to share anything about traditions of alma mater?
Yes. There is one important thing I want to mention. I got married even before I completed my education. While I was doing my registrarship, I told my parents I want to get married. My father was upset because he had dreams for me. So he says, how will you pursue your studies? I said, no, you leave it to me. So I married Devyani. She came from Gujarat and her grandparents were from Karnataka. So we had a tri-state culture in our house, both in the food, in habits, in celebrations, in language. She was only matriculate and 18-year-old, and I was 25 years old. Both of us pursued our education. She got her graduation. She qualified as a hospital management person. I passed my Part 1 MS, Part 2 MS, primary FRCS, final FRCS from London and Edinburgh. So marriage does not come in the way of your education because you are now focused to achieve the next step in your life. Having got a good partner, we recently celebrated our 70th, 70, wedding anniversary. I have 3 sons. One of them is a Gosumec, Milin, orthopedic surgeon, India's first Elizarov surgeon, deformity correction. And his daughter Ishani is the 4th-generation medico. And we have 4 GS Medical College. Myself, Milin, my son, my daughter-in-law, Poonam, ex-Poonam Ranade, former Miss Ranade, and now Ishani and Janaki. So these are all medicos, and now Soham is also a medico. So I am that way a very lucky person. And I didn't know what to do after the age of 80. So when I retired at the age of 80, I didn't know what to do. I went to the hospital and told them that I will not come from tomorrow. So they asked me that why? Is there something wrong with you? I said, no. I believe in the saying, retire when people should ask you, why are you retiring rather than when are you going to retire? And then suddenly I got a chance to learn a new science, totally new science I learned, thanks to my son, orthopedic surgeon Milin. That is about my recent passion and mission, and that is about lifestyle management and nutrition, especially talking about non-communicable diseases, diabetes and obesity. Publish a book on obesity called Lay Bhari, popular Prakashan. And in Akola, I also was very keen about social life, literary pursuits, and spiritual pursuits. People used to say, we see this man, surgeon, in the operation theater, and in the evenings, he is in the performing theaters, listening to music, drama, or giving speeches, or listening to speeches. I joined Rotary at a young age in 1958, and today I am the senior most active Rotarian in the country and the senior most past governor of Rotary International. By the way, GS Medical College has given 10 governors to Rotary International, and Bharat Pandya, director of Rotary International, and now the treasurer in the Rotary Foundation. I learned literary things, but published 9 books altogether on different subjects. And the record is at the age of 90, I published 3 books for last 5 years. Spiritual, I inherited from my parents. I built up and renovated Jnaneshwar Mandir and used to give talks on Gita Jnaneshwari globally all over the world, and created a world record 10 days Ganesh festival on the first day at San Francisco, second time coming back to India at Philadelphia, and then at London, Marathi Mandal. So in 10 days at 3 different places, I was speaker at the Ganesh festival on Gita Jnaneshwari.
Sir, you are a perfect example of work-life balance. It, I just don't have words to, like, you have done so much things.
So I'm an absolutely contented man, has got 7 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. So 4 of them are medicals, 4th generation. So I thank Almighty that He has given me all this opportunity and the GS Medical College with those teachers and that background being connected to social. Santushtoham, Santushtoham, Krutadnyoham, Krutarthoham, Punah Punah. That is because of GS Medical College. Thank you.
So, what has been your clinical and academic pursuit as a district surgeon?
Did you ask me something? Did you ask me something?
Yes, sir. Devashri was asking a question. I think.
Yes, Gauri.
Gauri, Natarajan here.
Yes, yes, sir.
Have you finished all the questions, sir, had listed?
No, sir. Only few are remaining, like 2, 3.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Next question is about the clinical and academic pursuit from the district surgeon.
From the district surgeon, what?
Clinical and academic pursuit.
No, the academics was mainly clinical, keeping proper records. Keeping proper records, taking photographs, and presenting papers. So I kept up my academic attitude.
Hello, Gauri. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Have you finished all those things listed? The question sequence, or still
Yes,
there's
sir.
something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Can I ask, sir, Dr. Chaudhary and Dr. Natarajan here?
Yes.
Yeah, sir. Any memories of your teachers?
Oh, I see. You see, what has happened, I heard Satoskar, I heard Ellen Mora. So I didn't want to particularly go into that details because everybody has talked about them. But I
No, your
must tell you one
perception.
thing, that the honorary system worked so well. And we were so lucky that they used to really love teaching. So when I was in Akola, I thought I will miss teaching. So I joined Ayurveda College as professor and taught them as long as it was an integrated course. And of course, I gave lectures at state level conferences. Amongst the teachers, I really tell you worthwhile. Each one had its own forte, and specialties were just coming up. So we saw people struggling with new specialty. I have seen Charlie Pinto struggling with his newly acquired skill of plastic surgery. under Sir Harry Platt. He came from England. I saw Dara Karanjiwala struggling with his urology and doing transurethral resection. I saw Dr. Ginde struggling with his neurosurgery. I saw Dr. P.K. Sen with his thoracic and cardiac surgery and the transplants and whatnot. So these were the days of development. But all of us basically were taught as a very strong base for general surgery. And thanks to our Bombay University, we had MS Part 1. So all of us who went to England had no problem passing primary FRCS, where we had the renowned teachers like R.J. Lass and Livingstone and whatnot. But among KM, every teacher had his own flavor. Nathubai Patel had his own style, bedside. He would ask us to get the answers just by watching at the patient inspection. Then somebody, J.K. Mehta, would give us all the pit-pat answers which were good for examinations. Then Dr. Baliga drawing a line, differential diagnosis, and very smilingly he used to say, no, this is not important, below the line. Important things first. So like that, every teacher taught, and the atmosphere was very studious atmosphere. And we had those competitive examination. I got my both first and second surgical Shirwalkar and Ken Bahadurji scholarship.
So what about hostel?
Pardon?
College. Any information on college hostel facilities?
Hostel, yeah. We are only outsiders. So Bombay people used to sort of hate us, jealousy. They had to travel in the local, walk from Elphiston Road. And here we are, in 2 minutes, we are at the classroom. Last minute, 8 o'clock classes. And we had great fun. And I remember two people came from Pakistan. One was N.H. Keshwani. He got a scholarship from US and became anatomy professor at AIMS. And one was R.N. Chug. He was hostel warden. And later on, he became very senior medical officer in Government of India and was attached to Prime Minister. He even went with Lal Bahadur Shastri to Tashkent. And when Lal Bahadur Shastri's death was a mystery, Mr. Chug was also under cloud. We do not know later on what happened about him. But the hostel was very nice and clean. The messes were very healthy, very affordable.
Any memories of your classmates?
Yeah. Neurosurgeon Dr. S.N. Bhagwati. Vascular surgeon T.P. Kulkarni. Professor of Medicine M.V. Divekar. Gynecologist Honorary M.R. Narvekar. Sharadini Gajendra Gadkar, later on became Jagirdar, Bombay Hospital, Sharadini Jagirdar. Malini Deshmukh, daughter of Vice Dean, Dr. Jadhav. Amongst 80, only 8 were girls. And only 6 became general practitioner, rest of them all specialists. Dr. V.R. Mehta was a skin specialist attached to Sion Hospital.
Was there ragging at the time?
Come again?
Was there ragging?
Ragging.
No ragging. No ragging. We never heard the word ragging. Never heard the word ragging. No hugging, no ragging, no welcome, nothing. We just used to be so comfortable with each other. The Bombayites and the hostelites. They are two different sects altogether. And then the Bombayites appealed to the dean that for final MBBS, why don't you allow us to be in hostel for 6 months? We are wasting our time. Dr. Badar Maskati was a casual in our lobby. He had failed in his first MBBS. And he was a sports secretary, table tennis player. And he registered our team for the entire Metropolitan Bombay Table Tennis Association. So we were given grade D. So we used to play home and away. In one of the tournaments, we played against the Tata Sports Club Parel. And the man who played against me was none other than the hockey player R.S. Gentle, who brought gold medal to India. R.S. Gentle.
Any interaction with the sister institution, Nair Hospital?
The interaction with Nair Hospital. Interaction with Nair Hospital.
Nair came much later. Sion was supposed to be a barrack hospital, barracks. जिसको कहीं मिलता नहीं था तो सायन में पोस्ट करते थे हाउस सर्जन से. Later on it got recognized and then converted into full medical college.
It's been very nice interacting with you, sir. We have been
Pardon?
hearing you. It has been very nice interacting with you.
Thank you. It was pleasure.
And we have always been hearing you on the WhatsApp platforms, your audio
Yes,
recordings.
Yes,
So
I'm
this
quite
is,
active.
no, so this is icing on the cake, seeing you in person and listening from you. Yeah.
I have survived two attacks of COVID pneumonia.
Difficult to believe that.
Yes, I told Milin, I am writing down for you, do not resuscitate. So no admission anywhere. On my own bed, give me oxygen, give me fluids, IV and antibiotics, and I'm out, except that it has affected my hearing.
So we expect you to be celebrating your centenary.
I don't know about my centenary. First, I would be happy if I can be part of our Gosumec centenary, January 25.
You certainly will be, sir, 100%.
Well, with your blessings, yes.
No, sir, your blessings are required for each one of the Gosumecs.
Yeah, I have special affinity for all the Gosumecs. Every time I see a good doctor in America, I ask him, are you a Gosumec? I meet them very often.
And
I meet Meena Nerurkar, daughter of Vazay. I meet Chan, I meet Mayakar, I meet Dokras.
we would like your advice regarding maintaining our health towards the longevity. From
As
you.
I said, the secret of longevity was stress-free life, non-toxic environment, simple habits, and whatever your hard work, time for exercise, any kind of exercise. Even now I walk. After the COVID, I am slowed down. But I used to walk and I used to go to the parks. And as I said, I established laughter clubs. So I'm the pioneer in this area. First Sunday of May, we have more than 200 people walking in different parks coming together. And I developed 20 various actions while you do laughter, exhaling our deep breathing air. You see. So that is the only thing. Non-toxic environment, clean habits, exercise, no addiction. And I have survived some small periods of addiction to tobacco and smoking, but got out of very quickly.
So as on date, your age.
Ishani?
Hello. As on
Ishani?
date, your age.
बोला तुमची एज विचार कर एज एज your
I'm running 95.
It's an honor for us. At meaning at 65, I'm 65, and I'm already meaning. So I can visualize that how much 30 years, and we're almost similar.
No, if you follow simple things, you cannot take any stress whatsoever. Life is meant to be taken it as it comes along. And just accept whatever it is and do not try to be extremely angry or very excited about anything.
Yeah.
That is the only secret. Simple life.
And sir, any advice for Gosumecs for studying? Way of your approach towards studies?
GS Medical taught me non-suicide omnibus, not for self but for others. Gita taught me Nishkam Karma Yoga. I call it altruism. So I lived all along for the society. I am a social man. I am a man of literary pursuits and spiritual background.
What can the Gosumec, what can you advise? What can you
regarding studying the subject? Your advice.
Studies concerned, I was well known in those days for organizing a system every evening before the examination, 3 months. Everybody is out from his room onto the terrace of the hostel, sit in a circle, and each one will tell what he has read. So you read in the daytime in the library and all that, and you hear people talking about different things. So the revision was so much. So that camaraderie, that nature of not being suspicious that other man will score more than you. So that is how we revised very frequently. And that is how we could score very well in orals. The second thing about our KEM is, as a final year student, I used to teach the first batch of surgery. As a house surgeon, I used to teach people about operation theatre and instruments, MS exam going students. As a registrar, I taught MS appearing students. So the teaching part of KEM, being expressive, helped me on examinations in FRCS England. There was a saying in England, if your number comes after M.R. Chowdhury, 3 successive people will fail because the examiners will find a lot of difference. Somebody from Bombay talking about it, and then somebody from other parts of India coming up. That was the thing going around in those days.
Any interaction with Dr. Jivraj Mehta?
any interaction with Jivraj Mehta?
No. Jivraj, I had interaction when he was a chief minister of Gujarat and a minister in bilingual Bombay. He visited Akola. So we Gosumecs got together, 12 of us, and we had a lunch together with him. So that was when he was already in the politics. And he was very happy to meet us. And I being the junior most from the CP and Berar area. And he was very happy that all of us had done well in our respective fields, being a Gosumec. So I met him not as a dean or anything, but as a politician, a minister in the bilingual Bombay, and later on he became chief minister of Gujarat.
Sir, has the city of Akola, in your recognition, named some particular places after you?
Has Akola named places after you?
No, I'm too small a person. My father was a giant. As a GP, he established a 50-bedded medical hospital. The first example in India, a MBBS man, grand medical graduate, he did his 2 posts in surgery. His boss was S.R. Zoglekar, just back from England. And his house surgeon was Shantilal Mehta. So when he came as a GP in Akola, he continued his real general practitioner, pathology, radiology, indoor hospital. He even used to do AP and PP for tuberculosis. He even did phrenic avulsions. So his memory in Akola is Chowdhury Hospital, Chowdhury School, Narayan Madhav Chowdhury High School, Jnaneshwar Mandir, and Mangal Karyalay. And he established Matru Seva Sangha, women's organization. But nothing named after me or anything, because I'm too small a person for that.
It has. You're being very modest, sir.
But the Rotary International honored me. Even though I came from a small club like Akola, I was chosen governor of Maharashtra Rotary in the year 1973 at the young age of 41, a record. and was called all over the world for lectures. I was even a speaker because of my work on eyes. Though I was a general surgeon, I was known in the Rotary Circle as a person who did lot of work for blindness. So I was a speaker at Rhone Convention, 17,000 people. And side by side sitting with me was Sir John Wilson, President of Royal Society of Commonwealth for Blind. So I got honors all over the world because of my oratory, and my subjects were spiritual, Gita Dnaneshwari, literary Rabindranath Tagore. I translated Madhushala of Amitabh Bachchan, and he invited me at his house over a breakfast that you have done my father's book in Marathi.
It has been great interacting with you, and your stamina to hold on for an interview for an hour. It's been
Yes,
excellent. Yeah. So now we will go for the concluding part. The student Gauri is here. Hello, Gauri.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Am I audible? Yeah. Gauri,
Yes,
you
sir.
can do the last 10 minutes part of it.
bola,
Okay.
bola, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Devashri is going to end the meet.
Devashri is there. Is Devashri
Devashri, why
there?
not ask Ishani to speak few words? Ishani.
Hello,
Yes, yes.
hello, Ish.
Yes, so we would request Shani ma'am to.
Yeah.
Ishani,
In fact, I've asked Ishani to work out a date for 2010 batch.
yeah, it
Their
would be
batch has
nice
yet
to
to
hear
select.
from her about her grandpa.
And
Ishani,
yeah,
Yes, yes, I'm in here. I'm here. So,
yeah.
first of all, thank you very much, Gosumec Alumni Association. Dr. Natarajan, it is an honor and such a joy to see you again. It's been over, I think, now more than 7 years that I have had the chance to see you, but it's a pleasure. It's very nice to see you, Dr. Gauri and Dr. Devashri. And honestly, it's been I live this inspiration every day. My grandfather has been someone whose company I'm very blessed to have for the last 4 years continuously that I've been here after graduating. And I think what we all got to hear from him, what he shared with us, and what he learned so much from KM. As you can see, his vivid memories, he is able to tell you everything about all the events and his life there. They were a very fertile ground for the vibrant life that he lived as someone who was a prolific surgeon, a healthcare professional, a social personality. So I saw that, I heard his stories. We say that we are the sum total of the stories that we hear. So I was inspired by my grandfather, knowing that he's a surgeon. My father and my mother, Dr. Milind Chaudhary and Dr. Poonam Chaudhary, who were also surgeons, orthopedic surgeon and general surgeon. And since all of them were from KM, like Dr. Nana Sahib said, it's GS or nothing else. So even I wanted to be there. And from Dr. Nana Sahib, my grandfather, I learned how to be a good student of life. And I've not been a great student at KM. I've not been a great student at GS Medical College. But, thanks to his mentorship, thanks to the stories he tells me, thanks to his company, I get to learn a lot and I continue to do that. I will tell you one thing, whenever I'm passing by his house at night, everything is dark, but his study table is lit. He is a man who I have seen sitting, reading, and writing. Even to this date, he has his notes, and it's very inspiring and heartwarming for me to see that. I try to emulate him in a lot of ways. And when I'm practicing now, I've joined my father. I'm very blessed to work here in our hospital that my great grandfather started, and to work here as a fourth generation doctor and a third generation GS site. So a lot of patients come back to us and they tell us, Nana Sahib, your grandfather, he treated my wife, he treated my son, he got him out of danger, he saved his life. And I feel very blessed and inspired to continue doing that work. So I mean, I hope that this 1 hour with him, you guys have been as inspired and he could share his love and passion for life and learning with you all as much he has with me. Thank you so much for having us.
It's been great to hear you, Ishani, and convey our regards to Milind as well.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And hopefully 2010 batch also picks up a date. Again,
I
totally
will do that.
volitional.
I
Yeah.
will
Okay.
coordinate and
Yeah.
do that. Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful. So now there's some concluding part of the program. Okay. Devashri will take over. Devashri is here.
Uh,
Devashri?
yes, sir.
Yeah, you can go for the concluding part.
Yes, sir. Now I would like to request the tech team to play the reflections video by Dr. Swarupa Bhagat.
A very good evening to you all. It is indeed my pleasure to speak about Reflections on Medical Humanities, annual volume published by Dr. Manu.V.L.Kothari, Chair and Division of Medical Humanities, Gosumec Alumni Association, under the patronage of Dr. Sangeeta Rawat, Dean, St. G.S. Medical College and KEM Hospital, Mumbai. The first issue of Reflections was published in the year 2019, the theme being History of Medicine, Looking Back to Improve the Future. The book comprises invited essays, poems, cartoons, quiz, crossword, and articles which were published before in different medical journals on evolution of branches and development of specialties in healthcare, great personalities and inventions in medicine and healthcare overall. The issue for the year 2020 was based on interpersonal relationships in healthcare. Again, invited essays and cartoons on doctor-patient relationship, doctor-doctor relationship, and medical teacher-student relationship were included. For the year 2021, we chose very apt theme of COVID-19, the human angle. Essays and poems in English, Hindi, Marathi, paintings and photographs contributed by teaching and non-teaching staff and students of St. G.S. Medical College and KEM Hospital who shared their experiences in healthcare and medical humanities.
Uh, it is my privilege now to propose the vote of thanks for today.
Yes, priceless friendships which we cherish lifelong. Our writings will instill a feeling of pride and a sense of belonging in all of us. The readers of the book, we as well as the future generations of students, will understand the power and beauty of expression and reflections. We will be enlightened about the history and glory of our institutions, past students who have contributed to the welfare of the society, and the role model teachers and mentors. We know, irrespective of the generation, we are bound by a common bond of being GSites. However, we also need to accept and adapt to changes which are inevitable following technological advances and societal transformations. At the same time, the students will learn that even though the changes are occurring, the humanitarian values and principles of ethics are unchanging. Hence, we appeal that the reminiscence and nostalgic memories shared on this platform of virtual reunions be expressed in the form of writings to be included in our next issue of Reflections. I, Dr. Swarupa Bhagwat, Editor Reflections and Associate Professor, Department of Transfusion Medicine at this institution, will be privileged to connect with the individual batch coordinators for sharing more details regarding the same. Thank you very much.
Now it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for today. Uh, we'd like to thank our Dean, Dr. Sangeeta Rawat Madam, and the Academic Dean, Dr. Pathak Sir, for their continued support and encouragement. We thank the Gosumec Alumni Association for administrative support for correspondence and financial transactions of Dr. M.V.L.Kothari, Chair and Division of Medical Humanities. We also thank Mr. Tushar and Mr. Badal for their audiovisual and technical support. Dr. Mhatre for the video recordings. Last but not the least, a big thank you to Sir and Ishani ma'am for being present today. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon, hopefully.
Thank you. Well,